Southeastern Bow Hunter Podcast.
Welcome to another episode of Southeastern Bow Hunter Podcast. In this episode, we're going to have a local boy, one of my good buddies, Paul Synoground, come on and tell us all about his season. Dude, he has some really good hunts this year, so I'm really excited to dive into that with him. And, before we get into the partners, before we get into, the usual stuff we do here, I do have I guess an announcement or something to sort of bring up. We will be at TAC Tennessee this year. Me and my buddy Josh are going to be going, and my wife is coming with. She's not going to be shooting. She's going to be hanging out with us, but dude, that's a huge win. I'm super, super excited. She's all for it. She's all for it. I had to sort of explain it to her. Kind of like what to expect and like what we're going to be doing. So, any of you guys that are coming out that come and see us, you're going to get to see her. We'll be walking around, checking out the booths, saying what's up to people, and then going to shoot. We're going to be shooting the Jack Links course, I think at 10 or 11 in the morning. I don't fully remember, but I'm very excited. So hopefully we get to see you guys there. I'm really, really looking forward to this and ready to put that prime to use. So, before we get into it with Mr. Paul, we got to run through the partners. As you guys know, we are now on the Sportsman's Empire. So you can listen to us on that network, or you can continue to listen to us on Apple and Spotify. We're also brought to you by Osseo Gear, which is my camo brand of choice. Summit Stands, the Boutique, which is the best arrow wraps in the world. Bergie Bowsmith, G5 Outdoors. Some really big things coming from G5 this year. I was talking with Brian and got a little bit of insight on what we can expect to see, and I'm very excited. I'm still going to be using the Mega Meat. That is the broadhead that I trust more than any others. It's performed flawlessly for me, so love that broadhead. Prime Archery. So dude, I'm really excited to be looking at getting one of the new divides. I haven't fully decided yet if I'm going to go with the 31 in a 6-inch brace height or a 7-inch brace height. Kind of thinking 7-inch with the speed mods. But we'll see. Either way, I'm dude, so hyped to see what Prime does this year. It is going to be a great year for Prime. Can't wait to see them out at TAC this year. And look, guys, remember, nothing aims like a Prime. Let's see. Next up is Dialed Archery. I hope you guys enjoyed that episode with Scott last week. I have a new proof on the way. I'm not going to say what it is yet. There's a couple of things working behind the scenes that once that happens, I will tell you guys, but there is a new proof coming. Dude, Dialed makes the best bow sights in the world. I mean, we talked about it last week. You guys, obviously, if you listen to it, you heard about the small batch stuff. That's one of my favorite things that they do is they come out every year with custom small batch sights. So yeah, man, please, if you're looking to get a new sight, check out Dialed Archery. Let's see. Next up is Moultrie. Cameras are working good. Gonna probably have to change some batteries with this cold weather. I hope all of you that dealt with this, quote unquote ice storm that we had, I hope you guys are doing okay. I know some places actually did get hit pretty hard, like Mississippi, Texas. So we're praying for you guys. Excuse me. We're praying for you guys. But the Moultrie cameras are working great. We're probably gonna look at getting some Edge 3s or Edge 3 Pros out soon. Got a couple more weeks until I start door knocking and, sort of prepping up for this coming deer season. Even though it's going to be February, you kill them now is the philosophy that I like to look at. So, Bow Hunting League. Look, if you guys want to be a state sponsor, let me know. Or you can just go to the link that's provided below and sign up. It's only $100 a year. So you get a ton of perks from that. And then make sure that if you do that and you heard that on this podcast, that you can tell them we sent you. Let's see. Boning Archery. Going to be running the Alpha Veins again this year. Probably going with a different color. I'm kind of looking at a new arrow build. We got Scrape Doctor. Going to get those scrapes working out here in the springtime. Victory Archery, still running the HLRs. Got my RIT TKOs as backups. And last but not least is Catalyst Archery, which is the newest sponsor or partner, whatever you want to call it, to the podcast. That is a high quality but affordable stabilizer company. I really love those dudes. We're actually going to be doing an episode with them here soon. So we're going to get to hear all about, what Catalyst is, how they got there, and what they have to offer. So that's all the partners. Any big changes happen, I will let you guys know. Let me think, man. So we got TAC. Deer are still holding their antlers. I'm waiting for them to drop so I can go shed hunting. What else is going on? We got the Wisconsin trip later this year. It's a podcast next month that's going to happen that I think a lot of you guys are really going to enjoy that has to do with that. Yeah, man, I'm just really, really excited for TAC. It's such a good event. I hope all of you guys get to go. spots are closing. So honestly, by the time this comes out, I wouldn't be shocked if the whole thing was sold out or just about sold out. So yeah, it's a great group of people, a great community, and very thankful to be a part of it. And I can't wait to see everybody. So before we get into it, Paul, I always do this. I feel like this is the most important part of the podcast. If you guys don't know who Jesus Christ is, just hear me out for a minute. Okay. So look, we all go through stuff. We all have, our own vices, our own things that we fall to, maybe things we want to quit. And if you feel like you can't quit that on your own, it's because you can't. Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. And there's many things in my life that I battle daily that I would fall to if it wasn't for him. Having a relationship with him has made me realize where I was falling short. And placing my faith in him is how I'm able to overcome that stuff. And you guys can do it too. It's not like a set of rules and, you have to do this or you're not going to be saved. We're saved by grace through faith. It sounds too good to be true. It sounds super simple. That's because honestly, it is super simple, right? Yeah, I'm so thankful for what Jesus has done in my life and what I've seen him do in my friends' lives, and what he's done for our family. I mean, without him, this family would not function. So kind of a little bit of a preacher moment. You guys know I always do it. I have to push the word in this. If I don't, what am I even doing? And so I really, really hope that you guys take this to heart, that y'all give him a chance. Just give him a chance. That's all I'm asking. Just give Jesus a chance to show who he is and what he has to offer. Because the world needs him now more than ever, right? Yeah, I see things and I'm like, Lord, where are you? And he's coming. He's coming on his own time, and that's the Lord's timing is always perfect, so there's no rushing it. But yeah, he changed my life. He saved me, and I have to give him all the glory for that. So that's the intro. That's the whole intro. We're going to get into it with Paul. We're going to hear about his season and some of the stuff he's been up to. It's been like 2 or 3 years since he's been on the podcast. So it's going to be a very good episode. So yeah, let's get started with Mr. Paul Synoground. Okay, we got my boy DJ Paulie D in the building again. After three years, we were just talking about it. It's been way too long. I don't know what happened. I don't know if I'm just a bad friend, I guess. That's kind of the way that I'm looking at it. But no, man, I'm happy to have you back on. It's been a long time, and yeah, I'm curious to see what's been going on. So I guess for the people who don't know you, you were one of the first guests that we had on this podcast, and it's changed a lot since then. Because
Yeah.
I think the first one was on a phone call, and I had no editing. The audio was probably trash. So this is going to be a lot different. But yeah, dude, I guess tell the people who you are before we start diving into what's been going on.
I guess my name's Paul, and me and Eric kind of work in the same industry. So we met at some classes and just kind of started talking about hunting and grew a friendship from there. So
Did we lose you? Oh no,
no,
you're still there. Okay.
I think I was
Yeah,
lost.
no,
I think I might have some connection issues, honestly.
uh-oh. It kind of seems like it's a little bit choppy. It's all good. We'll make it work.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we do work in the same industry. For its goods and its bads. So,
Yeah.
yeah, you know what's crazy? So like talking about those classes, it's kind of a little behind the scenes thing for people listening. I had, so we're state certified, right, to check fire systems and whatnot. And literally I can't remember if I was even with Century when we met. I might not have been. I don't remember.
I don't think you were with
but
Century when we first met.
what I
I
do
think you were
know,
with someone else.
yeah, I think it was that other mom and pop place I was working at. And what's funny is, so like, I didn't know that every 3 years our licenses have to get renewed,
Yep.
right? Like federally renewed.
Mm-hmm.
And so I get an email 2 years ago saying, "Oh, your license expired." So I hit up my boss and I was like, "Hey, what's up with this?" So they claim they fixed it, right? They said they went in there and they changed what they needed to do, and I was on the up and up and everything was fine. This year, or well, I guess last year, I got another email saying, "Hey, your license expired." And I looked at when it expired. It expired back in July, and no one said anything to me. I didn't even get an email until then. So
You getting it from
come to find
NFPA?
out that, yeah, well, actually, no, from our, like, we use this thing called Paycom, and it's got like, it'll send you, hey, your license is due to be up in, this amount of days. It didn't do it properly. So basically, what I come to find out is, and it's all good now, right? But at the time, I found out that federally speaking, I wasn't licensed to do what I've been doing for 2 years. It expired back in 2023. So we went through and we fixed it. I had to retake my test, but I kind of had a feeling because I hadn't been to any of those classes we take in like 2 years.
Oh man,
And it
that's
started in
crazy.
23. That was the last one that I went to.
Yeah. So
Dude, it was wild. And I was the only one in our division to deal with that.
we have to do 8 hours credit each year for each certification on the state level to keep our permits. But then, like you said, every 3 years, you have to have 24 hours of credit per certification for your ICC, which is the federal part.
Mhm.
Do y'all do a lot of
No one
online
ever told me that.
classes? Because that's what we've been doing is online.
No, so what we do is like we'll go to those, that 1-day seminar thing that they send us to
Yeah.
where we hear the same stuff every year or maybe some small changes. That kind of counts as our training.
Yeah.
So we'll go to that. And like the first year I missed it, I thought it was just a scheduling problem. And then this past year I missed it. And I was like, okay, that's kind of weird. The first one, fine. I'll let one go away. But the second one, it was like, why am I not going to these when it used to be a thing that I'd have to go to every year? So
Yeah.
we figured it out. I figured out actually what it was. So like our company's got different divisions and we were having somebody, I don't know how deep I need to go on this, but basically we were having somebody else in another division do all of our certifications, like renew it. And
Yeah.
they just didn't do it. They
I wouldn't
quit
say
and
that
they
out
never did
loud.
it.
I wouldn't say that out loud.
Yeah, well, they're gone, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, true.
But yeah, it was bad, man. I don't think people need to listen and hear about, my daily struggles, but yeah,
It's
it
part of
is what
life,
it is,
brother.
man. The field we're in's pretty pretty good. Do what?
It's part of life, man. Go to work. You
Yeah.
work to play. You work hard for 9 months out of the year,
Yeah.
and hopefully you take care of mama, and she lets you get to go hunt some deer between September and January.
Yeah. I mean, I say I've been doing pretty good on that. So, all right, let's transition a bit. So it has been 3 years since you've been on this podcast.
Yep.
What has been going on? I know you've been killing some deer. You recently had a hunt that I do want to talk about, but I want to talk about, I guess, the past couple of years. Like,
Go back a little
what have you
bit.
seen that's maybe changed? How did the seasons go? Like, how has it been? I guess since the last time you were on here.
So I don't know that I've done anything the past 2 years as far as going anywhere. I've been building up some points for some places to go to and hunt. So I've just been staying here in Georgia. I think I don't think I've been anywhere. I think the last time I went to Nebraska was 2022. I went back to back 2 years,
Yep.
but that was when I could
Which is
buy
when.
over the counter tags. But it's all draw now, so I've been
Can you
just
not do
building
that
up some
anymore?
points. No,
Oh,
I don't
really?
think so. Yeah. Um, I,
Dang
from
it.
what I've read, from what I've seen, you have to get drawn. Now, I think after the quota, something about after so many tags are permitted, if there's any left over, I think you might be able to buy archery over the counter archery tags. And you can do it for whitetails, but mule deer is conservation. So if you want to hunt mule deer on a mule deer conservation area, you got to draw for it. From my understanding, anyway. I've been
Dang it,
buying
man.
points, so I hope
I
that's
was
the
just
case.
Yeah, I was just telling a buddy of mine that because I'm going to Colorado next year to go after muleys, and I
Yeah.
was saying
Oh
how
man,
I'm
that's a good
probably going to
state
get
for 'em.
obsessed with it. Yeah, where we're going, I did get to e-scout it a couple weeks ago, And it looks good. I mean, my uncle hunts out there, so he knows about it more than I do. But I've been out
Yeah.
to Colorado twice, maybe 3 times. No, no, I've been out there twice, um, in the past couple years, and like every time, dude, I've seen monsters. Not where we're hunting, but I feel like that state, like obviously you're gonna have, your typical just regular normal sized deer. But we went to the shooting range with the kids last time I was there, and there was
Hmm.
two bucks that were like 60 yards away that were probably 170 or better.
Oh
And I
yeah,
was
they
just
have some
like,
studs too.
we have it's gnarly. So I'm excited about it. I always looked at Nebraska as like, if you want to hunt muleys, that's the easiest place to go.
I don't know. I'm not sure that's the case anymore. Like I said, as far as I know, you have to draw now. Um, the
Okay.
next state that I might would try if you were looking for easy, I want to say is probably Utah.
Utah. They have
Yeah,
OTC?
yeah. As far as I know, you can
Okay.
buy a hunting license and go hunt them. I can verify that and get back
Okay.
to you and let you know for sure, but I'm pretty sure that's an easy draw there. Now you have certain areas
Yeah.
that's probably going to take some points, but uh, I the buddy I hunt with in Illinois this past a couple weekends ago, he goes out there and he said it's pretty easy to get tagged, so um, I can let you know
Okay.
for sure.
Yeah, because I know like Colorado, I know Colorado you can get OTC, but if you're gonna the thing about that is like if you're gonna go out there, it's it seems to me like you want to focus on the good units. So
Oh
you're
yeah, for
gonna have to
sure.
put in for points.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but the thing about where we're going is we are going on BLM land that is landlocked by nothing but private. So
Yeah.
my uncle actually got permission from one of the landowners for us to ride in there, take the ATVs in, go, find a place to camp up. So it'll be fun, dude. I mean, I'm very nervous that Southeastern bow hunter is going to turn into Midwestern muley hunter or something like that.
Oh
Or
man,
not Midwestern.
it's Western.
I don't know what it'd be, but
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
I'm
it'd
just
be
like,
Western.
you know how I am about mules.
Oh man, it's
I
a
mean, I am
totally
from Chicago,
different
so I guess
type of
that could
hunting,
work.
man.
Yeah. Well, see, I'm fidgety. Like I get fidgety in the stand. So if I get to keep on moving
Oh
and
yeah,
have to like
you'll love it.
wear myself out where I'm not fidgety to get on these things. Yeah, exactly. So I might be broke, but we'll see. Um,
Get some good
but look,
boots,
I
man.
wanna I wanna hear
Get some good
about,
boots.
the past. Yeah. Well, I forget what brand my uncle was telling me about. He said it wasn't crispy, it was something else, but he said that like they're really good, but they're not super expensive. Because I mean, in
Danner,
Georgia, we don't really need high end. Huh?
Danner boots.
What was it? Danner.
Danner,
That
D
that actually
D A
sounds
N
familiar.
N E R.
That might.
Yeah, yeah, they're really good.
Okay.
That's what I use. Comfortable and they hold up
What's
well.
the what's the price range on those?
280 around in that area.
That's not bad. I'd
Yeah,
probably use those
it's
out
not.
here.
I mean, but I've had mine for
Yeah.
5 or 6 years, man.
And they're still good.
Oh yeah, they're great. No problems.
Okay. Yeah, I need to upgrade a lot of stuff this year. So looking at looking at, boots and stuff for the bow and the bow. I mean, granted, the form that I'm shooting is great, but I shot the Divide and I really, really want one of those. Hopefully gonna have one before TAC. So we'll see how that goes. But all right, I wanna switch gears, man. I want to talk about the past couple of seasons for you because you've killed some pretty
Okay.
good deer for Georgia. So 23, run me real quick through that season.
I don't know if I killed anything good in 23. I don't know if I'm not sure if I killed a buck in 23 or not, honestly. I may have just slayed some does. I can't remember anything memorable.
Yeah.
Uh If I did, it was late season. Man, I can't. I'd have to go back through my pictures, and I don't know if I can get off of this app and it still keep doing what it's doing. Um, will
Yeah,
it like do
probably
picture
not.
in picture?
Uh, maybe. I'm still using this. I'm still figuring it out. I think there is a way to do that. Um,
Oh yeah, dude, I can
but
get
I'm
to
also
it.
on the computer, so it's probably a little
Yeah,
different.
you're good. I'm on my.
You
I'm in
can?
my. I'm
Okay.
in my. Yeah, I'm in my. Let's see here. Let's go
Okay.
back. Let's take a journey. I went to Colorado. Me and my wife went out to Colorado
Yeah.
in the summer 25 or 24. Yeah, it was 24, July the 4th, man. It was
Say, I
beautiful
remember
out
seeing
there,
you guys
dude.
posting about it,
Yeah, it was beautiful out
dude.
there.
I'm telling you, if there's
Uh,
any state I'd move to, aside from the politics, it'd be Colorado. Like the let's put it this way. When we left my uncle's place to go to dinner one night, we saw probably 350 plus inch elk just hanging out in like a field. And you can't even hunt them where we were. So, I mean, they have no, they really don't have much pressure.
yeah.
It's a whole different place than here. I mean, let's put it this way. I haven't even seen a deer on the side of the road in probably a month. You go out there, you see stuff every day. So
Oh
it
yeah,
is a
dude. I
lot
mean,
different.
antelopes all over the place, man. Just mule deer all over the place.
Yeah.
When we were
Antelopes,
in Estes
muleys,
Park,
elk.
and there was elk just walking around in the middle of the city square.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Estes Park is it's totally do you wanna talk about go someplace to see some animals? That's the way to go. I mean, we stayed at we went up there. I guess I have been there 3 times. Yeah, because we went up there for their wedding. So we went up in 2018, for my uncle's wedding, and we stayed in the Stanley Hotel. A
Yeah.
week after we stayed there, a black bear came in and broke in and was, like, trying to eat the food, and it was a wild thing. I mean, you don't get that in Georgia. You might get
No.
black bears getting in people's trash cans, but that's about it.
Yeah, and up in North Georgia, they mess with a little bit of stuff. I mean, we went up to Gatlinburg, and they were the night before we went there. There was a bear on top of the seafood house, and this was back in November this year. But yeah, I'm looking
Really?
through my pictures. I don't see anything memorable in 2023, so we're gonna fast forward to 24.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah,
and
let's
that's
let's hear
when
about
I
24.
killed.
Because I know
Yeah,
didn't you killed a pretty good buck in 24, didn't you?
I did. I killed my biggest buck to date so far. I don't know what he scores for sure yet because I'm still waiting on him from the taxidermist, but I'm putting him probably
Mm,
somewhere in the mid 130s to maybe close to 140 range. Um,
dude,
yeah,
that
that was
that's a
awesome.
Georgia stud.
Man, I'm looking at pictures right now. Just I'm talking about the first thing okay, so this was on like I don't know, maybe 6 acre piece, if that. And
Mhm.
I usually have good luck over there late November. I killed a buck there the same year I killed my muley in Nebraska. I killed another buck there, an old deer. His rack was like maybe 107 inches, 7 pointer, no brow tines, but this dude was a tank. I mean, he was probably 8 years old. Had the same rack for the last 2 years.
Yeah.
No changes, no bigger, no smaller, really. I mean, he just an old deer. And I had trail camera pictures of him one day different than the day I killed him. Same time, everything. Middle of the day, the trail camera picture was on November the 17th. I shot him on November the 16th. And but I historically on this property, which I don't have anymore because my friend died and his wife moved to Tennessee. Um,
Mm.
there's a lot of deer movement in mid to late November. So I went over there. I want to say the day after Thanksgiving, and she had some family in town. It was the Friday after Thanksgiving, so when I pulled up in the driveway, I there was cars all there, so I said, "Well, I'll just go to my other spot," and I went and I didn't see anything. And I called her that afternoon and asked her if she was still going to have company Saturday. She said, no, everybody had left. And so I said, well, I'm going to come sit in the morning, just see what happens. Cause the cameras have been kind of dead. I've had a few little bucks and some, broken up antlers. And so I went and I sat that morning, and I'm sitting there and I'm watching these two yearlings for like 45 minutes, man. They just milling around. I mean, it's like a bottom. It's wide open. It's really swampy in there. It don't hold a lot of water like year round, but when it rains, it just fills up and it's wet. It's pretty damp all the time. Um, so I watched these two yearlings forever, and I'm like, I'm gonna just scare them off so I can get down. So I hit a grunt a few times, and they look at me and they don't really do anything. Well, I mean, I'm about to get down out of my stand because it's cold as crap, and I look over and I see some movement to my right, and I don't know. I'm like, well, maybe that's mama or something like that. So I just wait to see what happens, and the steer comes walking in, and I was like, oh, that's a buck. I see antlers, and I knew it. I mean, it has to be 4 points on one side or better here, and I mean that was all I needed to see. I didn't pay attention really how big he was, man. He got in this V of a tree that was in front of me, and I shot through a V and drilled him, and I saw him. He ran towards the highway, and then he cut up into a privet thicket. And the last time I saw him, he was walking real slow and limping. And I was like, oh man, what did I hit him low? Did I hit him in the leg? And so I waited about, I don't know. I mean, I'm gonna tell you, I waited 30 minutes, but it probably seemed like forever, and it was probably realistically only like 2.5, 5 minutes or something like that. Time just something like that for me. Time just has no concept. I'm like, yeah, I'm waited long enough, and it really hadn't been that long. But so I get down and I go and look for this guy. Can't find any blood. Can't find any hair. And I'm looking, and I'm looking where my stand is, and I'm looking where I last saw him at, and nothing. I'm just walking around. And at this point, I'm just grid searching, looking at the ground, see if I can find hair or blood anywhere. And so I'm facing away from my stand, and there's a creek down this way, and I'm like, well, maybe he ran towards the creek. And I'm like, I don't know. I got to find blood in this area. Um, so I'm just looking around, and I turn around, and the deer is like 10 yards behind me, laying on the ground. And I'm like, oh, heck yeah, dude. So I walk over there, and I'm like, holy crap, that's a good deer. And the first thing I did was call my wife, and I was like, hey, babe, I just shot a really good deer. And this property was um, over close to where we go to church at, which is, I mean, it's about 35 minutes from the house. And my wife cleans the church, and so she was on her way to go finish cleaning that morning. So she said, well, I'm on the way. I haven't passed by yet. These people that let me hunt there, they were members of our church. They were an older couple that we were really close with. And she comes by, and she walks down in the woods with me, and she helps me drag this deer. And she's like, man, that is a great deer. First thing she said is, we're getting this one mounted, right? And I was like, absolutely. And so, I mean, it was a great time, man. She helped me drag it, and we took pictures. And the lady that lives there, this was actually after her husband had passed already. Her granddaughter was living there with her great grandchildren, and so the little boy, he's, I don't know, 3 or 4 years old. He come out there and took some pictures with the deer, and it was just a good time. And I was just blessed to be able to shoot that deer and be at the right place at the right time, man. And it's just good. I'm just blessed to be able to enjoy that and share that with other people. And it's just, I don't know, it's thinking about it, man. It's just unreal. I can't wait to get it back to actually put a tape on it just to see. I mean, I don't really care. I got deer on the wall that's not even break 110 inches, but it's memories, man. I enjoy it. That's what I'd love to do. I mean, I like filling my freezer up, and we eat deer meat year round. We don't buy beef. Um, I like, providing for our family, and that's why I do it for the most part.
Yeah. Yeah, we actually had Had deer steak yesterday, deer tacos today. Like it's just I feel like that time, when you get it out and you can just sort of have the best meat on the planet. I mean, the thing I love, dude, is like getting to do this podcast and hear like the bunch of different stories and stuff, and you can kind of tell the ones that are. I mean, I'm not gonna say there's ones that aren't genuine, but the big buck craze right now, like everybody's. I saw a thing, dude, on I think it was TikTok or Instagram. It was oh no, it was Scotty from Botox, and he posted something about somebody saying like, "Oh, well, he hasn't even killed a Pope and young deer. How is he?
Yeah, I
What
saw
kind of
that
hunter is
video.
he, or how is he qualified?" Like, yeah, I'm like, dude, that's the problem with the community these days. It's like if you don't kill a Boone and Crockett, the general populace doesn't think you know what you're talking about. When I guarantee you and I could sit here and lay out everything that we've done and how it works and what to do. And I'm not saying it's going to get you a world record deer, but it'll get you on deer,
Oh
And
yeah,
like, I just I hate when the antler size becomes like the main focus. I mean, obviously we want to kill big bucks, right? But
for
to
sure.
hear you
Yeah,
say like you were super hyped about that deer, and it means a lot to you, but that the score doesn't matter. We
yeah.
need more of that, you know?
Oh man, dude.
So
If
I'm really hyped about that.
I don't shame anybody for any deer they kill, man. If they kill a spike and they're happy about it, and I'm pumped for them, I'll watch any grown man nail a spike and drop it, and if he's excited, I'm excited for him, man. Antlers are it's just a trophy that you get to relive the memory.
Yeah.
I really do hunt for the meat, and if I get to kill a buck, I get to kill a buck. That's just a added blessing. So.
Yeah. Well,
And
there's going to be
yeah,
people that listen to this and like, "Oh man, he's full of it." But I know you're not. That's the thing. Like cuz what's funny is when you and I first met, that was back in 20
19 or
God, dude, it
18,
had to be
something like that.
2020. Yeah, well, I started in the industry about 2019. So it might be somewhere in the summertime of 19 to maybe
It had to be
2020.
19
And
because we didn't go to classes in 2020 because of COVID.
oh, that's right. Okay, yeah, so you're right. It was 2019. That was my first season. I didn't know anything that I was doing. I still don't know what I'm doing, but at least back
Oh
then I
man.
could, be like, "Oh, I'm new. I don't," not like now
Yeah.
where it's like, "Yeah, well, been doing it 6 years and I've killed a couple, but I just stuck in my ways, I guess." But no, I will say that's one thing about you, Paul, that I've always respected is the fact that like you knew I was new at this, and you immediately were like, "All right, man. Well, look, if you try this, this, and this could work, or it doesn't matter," because back then I was hunting a spot that I mean, no joke had a 160-inch 9 point on it. I mean, I've looked back at
Yeah.
the photos, I've compared it to other deer. That deer was 160 all day.
Yeah.
And even with that, you still were telling me, like, look, dude, the antler size doesn't matter. Like, if you want to kill a big deer and you see him, great. But it's not the most important thing. And I didn't listen to you for a couple years, and I had to get humbled real quick. I mean, the only deer I killed last year was that spike behind me. And
Yeah.
I'll tell you right now, that deer, I was just as excited as this one. So
Yeah.
you're right. I mean, I forget who it was. I think it was Greg Poole when he came on. We were talking about this and he was saying how, you know, we've gotten to a point that big deer is just what people want to see. And like, I'll be
Yeah.
honest, dude. I mean, I like watching it, but I'll watch the hunting public from 4 or 5 years ago when they were killing 100-inch deer on public. I like that just as much. Like it doesn't have to be a mega giant every time. And I feel like we're kind of getting back to like the go for the experience thing, right? Like we were talking
Oh
about
yeah.
Wisconsin, right? I
Yeah.
told you if you want to come up to Wisconsin, there should be a spot for you. And I mean, granted, Wisconsin, I think, has the most Boone and Crockett entries of any state, or it's damn near close. But that doesn't mean that if I go up there and see a 120 that I'm going to let it walk. You know what I'm
Smoke
saying? Like
City,
if I see
baby.
a deer that gets me
Smoke
excited,
City, bro.
that sucker's
All day.
yeah, that sucker's
Dead.
dead. Like I don't care. So I just, I don't know, man. You know how the hunting community is. Like you got me involved with like the bow hunting league and with your family, Synoground Outdoors and all of that. Like you were a very, very crucial point to really this, like where I'm at. And the one thing that you always, every time we've talked that you've always told me is like, dude, it's not for the size. It really isn't. Size doesn't matter, at least in this
Don't
context.
don't
Um,
worry. That ain't what she said.
yeah, in other ways, I don't know, but in deer hunting, it,
Yeah.
it really doesn't matter. But yeah, dude.
Don't
So
care
all
about
right,
what other people
I wanna
think,
talk
man.
about this past season.
They're your tags to fill. Don't
Do what?
never don't. I said don't never
Oh
care
yeah.
about what someone else thinks. They're your tags to fill, man.
Well, and dude, you remember back in 2022, when Thor killed that spike, and everybody was running him through the mud and all that, and like I don't even know why. And it that was the first time I actually got to see it for what it was. But people like to talk, you know.
Yeah,
I
man.
mean, people like to talk. It is what it is.
It
But
is. Yeah, that's right. It
all
is
right,
what it is.
let's sort of change direction a little bit. I want to talk about this year, this past season,
Yes.
because you went to my home state
I
where
was not far from your
I've
home city.
probably been saying, yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Like you were in, my where I was hatched. So
Mm-hmm.
I want to know how that was because I've been looking at going to Illinois in the next couple of years, and I've got a couple buddies that go every year, and they always tell me they see, oh man, we saw 150s, I saw 190, and the regular stories. I mean, what was it really like? Like you sent me some pictures. There were definitely some giants up there, but
I
what was
I
that?
can tell
What was that
you.
experience like for you?
All right, so let's start at the beginning of this season because this season has been super slow for me. Um, I said
Yeah,
earlier that property I killed my biggest deer on was a 6 acre piece. Up until this year, every piece I've ever hunted has been sub 10 acres, and I hunt private exclusively. Public land, that's. I'll be honest with
mhm.
you, the guys that do it and do it successfully and consistently, my hat's off to you, brother, because that is work. And I got limited time I
Oh,
can
it's
be
tough.
out there. I want to try to do everything I can to make, maybe one day I'll have the time to put into doing the public land thing. But yeah, I like hunting private
Hmm.
ground because I can plant food plots and run trail cameras and not have to worry about anybody stealing it and stuff like that. But so I got my
Yeah.
to come to find out, my brother-in-law has a 16-acre piece of property. It's about an hour or so from me, and so I got permission to hunt on it. So I did a little bit of work, and it was right before season that I got permission on it, and I had some really good deer showing up. And for some reason, they just disappeared. I actually thought they were dead, but then come to the end of our normal season, that one of them showed back up. But man, I killed a deer on opening day of bow season, and I mean, dude, I couldn't buy a deer. Most of the property that I hunt is more pine
Hey,
trees than
join the
anything.
club.
Yeah, and I guess we had such a great crop this year of acorns that the deer were just hammering the
Oh,
acorns, and
dude.
I don't have them. I don't have it. You know what I mean? I just don't have access to them
Yeah.
on my property. So I mean, yeah, I got feeders, I got food plots. Dude, they were passing through there. They wasn't even stopping at corn pile. And
Hmm.
so I ended up killing another deer. I killed two more deer. I've killed 3 deer this year in Georgia. And man, I'll be honest with you, that's a slow year for me. I usually kill 5 to 6 at least. And I put more
Yeah.
time in on this one property than I did any other property either, because I mean, I have not hunted at my house really at all. I got a buddy who lost the property that he was hunting on, so I allowed him to just hunt here. And I haven't really, he's
Hmm.
hunting here. It's only 3 acres, so I'm just letting him have his go at it. And he actually finally killed a deer right before the end of season, so he had some meat. But so freezer was looking real skimpy, man. I'll be honest with you. Before I went to Illinois, I think I had 10 or 11 packs of ground meat left. So
Mm.
I bought I bought an either sex tag and I bought a antlerless tag. I mean, it was an extra $25 for an extra antlerless tag. So I said, why not? I'm hoping that I have some
Yeah.
success up there and bring some meat back with me to put in the freezer. So I drove up
Hmm.
for the last CWD gun season and now, you know, Whitetail Legacy podcast is how I really got into podcasts and things like that. And so I made really good friends with those guys, and we had a whole Snapchat group with a bunch of people in it. And I mean, that stuff has led me to so many avenues. It's unreal. And actually, when I was up there, I talked to one of the creators of Whitetail Legacy and just told him, none of this stuff would be possible without you. Because me going to Nebraska would have never happened. I would have never met those guys out there and become friends with those guys out there and been able to go out there and hunt. Um, I never would have met Logan, is my buddy that lives in Illinois and who said, come up here and I'll show you around, and we can find somewhere for you to hunt. And so I drove up. It was 13 hours behind the wheel from the time I left my house to the time I pulled in his driveway. Um, I
Yep.
left my house,
Done
so
that
you
many
losing that,
times.
yeah. And I mean, but it wasn't it for me when I'm going somewhere, the trip never seems long, because I'm excited, I'm pumped, I'm ready to
Yeah.
get there, I'm ready to go. And so we get there, it's the day before the opening day, and we go right around. And, dude, so the season opens up on Friday, Saturday, Sunday season. I get there on Thursday around lunchtime. We actually eat lunch. We had some pork burgers because he's a farmer. They farm a bunch of corn and he takes care of some pigs and stuff. Um, so we eat lunch and whatever, and we wait for his boys to get off the school bus, and we go right around. And we glass deer. We see see what we can find. And 2 minutes from his house, I mean, like literally, I text my wife at 5 o'clock that we were, going to look for deer. At 5:02, I was taking pictures of a 140 class deer in a field, um, tending a doe. I mean, it was him and a doe out there, and he was just watching her, making sure she was cool. Um, we drive around a little bit more, man, and I tell you, the first night I was there, I saw more deer in the hour of daylight that we had left than I have in the last 5 seasons in Georgia.
Yeah.
Uh,
There's
some
a ton
really
of them
good
up
deer.
there. I mean,
Well,
it's
and here's the thing. My buddy up there wants to come down here and hunt, and I said I will oblige you, but I cannot guarantee you will see a deer. I said, here's the thing. Where we were at, you might have a 35-acre block of timber, and then you might have 900 acres of cornfield before you find the next piece of woods. So the
yep.
deer don't have a lot of acre, especially this time of year when everything's harvested. I mean, all the ground that there's chisel plowed, so I mean, you got a block of timber here, and then it's a wide open field to the next block of timber. So these deer only have small places to hide
Yep.
in. So I mean, the buku's a deer, and
Were, were you guys in like Southern Illinois,
no,
Central,
man,
North?
I
Like, where were
I
y'all?
I was in DeKalb County.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I mean, it's
I know
it's an
exactly where that's
hour,
at.
yeah, it's an hour and a half dead west of Chicago.
Yep.
Um,
Dude, that's wild.
yeah, and so I mean, we went. Yes, I saw some good deer, some really good deer. I should have killed a 150 10-pointer the first night. Um, we were sitting there in the field, in the blind, and it's cold, buddy. Let me tell you, it's cold. And you're from there, so I'm
Hmm.
sure you know this, but we get up Friday, we go get in the blind. It snowed Thursday night, so the ground is white. Snow. It's beautiful. I'm a Georgia boy, so I don't get to see that very often. Um, we're sitting in the blind and we're chilling. The first day there, I mean, probably 10 minutes after we get in the blind, we hear some coyotes sound off in the block of timber that we're sitting in. I mean, they don't sound like they're 50 yards from us in the timber. So Logan whips out his elk call and howls back at them. And about 10 minutes later, they pop out right in the field where we're hunting, probably about 150 yards away from us. And they get across the field. And so I got a rifle. And so it's straight wall cartridge up there only now. I mean, like you can still shoot with a slug gun, but you can't shoot like a bottleneck rifle cartridge like a 30-06 or 308 or anything like that. It's got to be like a 350 Legend, 450 Bushmaster. The rifle I was using is actually Logan's. It's a 444 Marlin, which is a sweet gun, dude. But it's a big bullet. It's 265 grains. And so,
Good Lord.
this distance makes a lot of difference with these big bullets. And I don't know. I think I sailed it right over his back. I took a shot, and he went over to my weak side too, making excuses. But I missed the first coyote. There was two of them that came out then. Um, I want to say right before the coyotes come out, there was a doe and two yearlings that popped out of the woods on the north side, walking away from us, way out of range, and we didn't want to. I mean, they were maximum range on that rifle was about 200 yards, and they were 250 probably or more. So two coyotes pop out. I missed the first one. I'm like, oh man. And I'm sure Logan's over there like, ooh, I don't know if this guy can shoot as well as he thinks he can. So we're sitting there, and I don't know. We hear some turkeys, and they're kind of like something's messing with them. Another coyote pops out, and he pops out like way to my left, and Logan has a really good shot, he's got a good angle on him. So I just hand him the rifle, like, here, you shoot this one. He drops him, smokes him right there. We're sitting there. I don't know, maybe another 15, 20 minutes go by. I'll be daggum if another coyote didn't come out of the same spot. And so I'm like, I'm shooting this one. And so I get on my tripod and I get around there, and boom, I dropped him. So we got two coyotes in the field. They're laying probably 7 steps away from each other. At this point, we've seen more coyotes hunting than we have deer. You know what I mean? We've seen 3 deer and 4 coyotes.
Back. I don't know what happened. Technology sucks. We lost Paul there for a second. What you were saying, though, was that you saw more coyotes on that hunt than deer. And it sounded like this was turning into a predator hunt. So that's where we were at.
Yeah. Yeah. So I was joking with Logan, and I told him, you showed me all these deer on Thursday night, and now we come out here and we just see coyotes. But we saw a shed buck around noon, and his body was good when Logan first saw him. He's like, oh, this is a good buck, and he threw up on him, and he's like, oh, he's just shed both sides already. And then so we sit there, and Logan's like, I hear something grunting, and a doe pops out of the field, out of the woods into the field, and then I hear grunting, and this little 85-inch wannabe 10-point. He has a great profile, but I mean, he's like really tight. He's probably 10 inches wide, and I mean, he'll be a great deer in 3 or 4 years, but he's just grunting and following right on this doe. So, he's like, you're not wanting to shoot that, are you? I was like, no, I'm not. I said, it's the first day. I don't want to shoot that. To be honest, I'd rather just shoot 2 does, and let that deer grow up a little bit.
Yeah.
So we sit there, and it's getting to be about 4:30, 4:45, and we start seeing these deer walk along the ridge in front of us. It's about, I don't know, between 400 and 600 yards out. And it's, doe, probably 15 does, and then we start seeing bucks, and saw a couple of really good 8-pointers, probably 130s, 8-pointers. Um, and then all of a sudden you just see this white rack. I mean, the other bucks, that it wasn't the same. I mean, like you could see this deer's rack like plain as day because it was so white. And so we're looking at him through the binoculars, and he turns and he is wide. He said that deer's probably close to 20 inches wide. It's probably about a 150 10-pointer. And so they're going along this ridge from west to east, and they're going into the property on the other side of the fence belongs to some neighbors named Boston. So they're going into this woods here, and he's like, I was like, well, that buck earlier was grunting. I wonder what a grunt would do to him. He said, well, it ain't like they're walking this way, so let's try it. So we start grunting at these deer, and they're looking real hard, but they're not doing anything. And eventually they walk into the timber. Well, about 10, 15 minutes later, they pop out of the south end of that same timber. And that 10-pointer comes out on the edge and makes a scrape. And then one of the 8-pointers hits that same scrape. So he grunts at him again. And at this point, there's a doe that's really curious in what's going on over here. So they start walking towards us. She walks towards us. The big 10 walks towards us. And a good 8 walks towards us. I would have shot either one of those deer. So they come in, and they hang up about 280 yards. And so we're trying to make adjustments because they're coming in on my weak side, and then we're sitting in a blind. It's a really nice blind, and it's got corner windows. So he gets one of the windows open, and I got a tripod. I'm trying to move the tripod around without moving too much and making too much noise. And the deer are looking right at us, and they're coming in on our downwind side. So the last time we ranged them, it's like 280, 277, I think is what it was, and I had the tripod set up in front of the window, but this gun has a muzzle brake on it. It's super loud. And he's like, you got to get that barrel outside the window. And I'm sitting way back away from the tripod. So I'm trying to move, and he's like, don't move. They're looking. And then they go back to, doing stuff. And so we're trying to move around. Long story short, I wasn't on the tripod. He ranges the doe at 155 yards. That's well within our range. So he's like, oh, she's 155, and get on them. And as soon as I get up to get the gun on the tripod, they turn and walk away. They trot off. They're back out at 220 in no time. And he's like, I've never shot the gun beyond 200 yards. I don't know what it'll do. And so I missed out on that one. I mean, I should have had that deer dead to rights. Had I been ready, we'd be telling a different story right now. But that's hunting, man. I mean, it's not a guarantee. These deer are wild animal, and you never know what they're going to do. You never know where they're going to come from. You can have a deer patterned to a T. He comes out of the same spot every day, same time, and you go hunt him, and he pops out on the downwind side of you in a totally different spot and busts you. I mean, it's part of hunting. So
Yeah.
first day is a bust. We go back home, eat dinner, hang out, whatever, go to bed, get up next morning and do the same thing. We're there on Friday. We sat in the stand from dark to dark. We didn't leave. I mean, we were there for 10, 11 hours, however long it is from daylight to daylight, because we got in the dark and we didn't leave till it was dark. So, the next day he's like, well, we'll go early, and we'll come home around 10:30, eat some lunch, and just chill out for a little bit, take a nap maybe, and then go back out about 1:30. So we go in the morning. We see a few deer. I don't think I can't. That morning, the thing that I remember that morning the most is we saw like a group of turkeys, man. There was like 30 of them, and a couple of them had some really nice beards, and they milled around out there for a little while. So I want to say that morning we saw that same little buck and a group of like little bitty does All these does was probably like 85 pounds, and that one buck that we passed the day before, and that's all we see that morning. Yeah. And so we get out, we go eat lunch. We get back to the stand about 1:30, and well, we don't ever really have any deer in range. I take that back. We did have a group of does come through with a couple of little small, little bitty deer, young bucks. I mean spikes, 3-pointer. They came in about 3 o'clock, and he was like, "That's a good thing. The deer are moving early, so we didn't take anything right then." He said, "I don't want to shoot a doe this early and have her laying out there in the
Mhm.
field." So we don't shoot anything, and then lo and behold, we don't really see anything else that evening. So we go home. Um, Homie actually comes up, from Whitetail Legacy Podcast, and we hang out for a little while. Um, and go to bed, get up, do the same thing again. He's like, he said, do you have to go to work on Monday? I said, I don't have to go to work on Monday. I took Monday off. And he said, well, if we don't see anything Sunday morning, which is the last day, he said, we can hunt Sunday evening too. Cause I planned on leaving around lunchtime on Sunday. I
Yeah.
was hoping to, get my 2 deer killed on Friday and spend the rest of the weekend hanging out and checking the place out and just having, getting, this is the first time I've ever met Logan. And my wife thinks I'm crazy because she's like, you've never met this guy in person before, and you're just going to go stay at his house and sleep on his couch and hunt deer
Yeah.
with him. I'm like, well, I mean, I've known him for 8 years. You know what I mean? We've
Yeah.
talked almost like when we were in the snap group, we talked every single day. I mean, like all day
I
long.
mean, you never know,
It
man.
was, um,
Like you might know
so
someone for a long time, and then something happens or something comes up. I'm not saying that that's what would have happened with Logan, but I have heard stories of
yeah,
people, you know, doing that, and then it's just not
yeah.
a good situation. So I get her concern.
I I I agree. I agree. But the kind of culture that we live in, like
Yeah.
you and I and Logan and the other people in the snap group, we're hunters and we have families, and we know each other's kids' names and all this stuff. I don't
Yeah.
I don't think that's not the type of people that would do something like that. But
Yeah.
my wife's like, you're just weird. I mean, hell, I drove all the way to Nebraska one time to go hunt. Actually, twice. And but the first time I went was 24 hours of driving, and I never met these
Good
guys
Lord.
before. But man, we had a
24
great time,
hours.
dude. Yeah. Um,
That's crazy.
so I talked to the wife, and she said, "Well, if you don't kill anything this morning, I'd rather you stay and hunt the afternoon, and hopefully, bring some deer meat back with you. Especially you spent the money to go out of state, and you drove up there, and all that stuff." Um,
Yeah.
so we go that morning, and I don't know that we see any deer that morning. So he said, "What we're gonna do," he said, "I've done this before in the past, is we're gonna push these woods over here." He said, "I want you to go around the corner. There's a fence row. I want you to get on that fence row, get your tripod set up, get ready, range a few things like a fence post or a different colored dirt clod or something like that so you know what your ranges are. And I'm going to go up here where we park the truck, and I'm going to walk that block of woods." And he said, "Deer are going to pop out of that woods. And more than likely, what they typically do is they hit that fence row and they run straight down that fence row to the block of timber that we were sitting on hunting, and there
Hmm.
wasn't any deer coming out." So he gets up to the truck. I'm set up. He goes in. I see I see movement, and I'm like, "Dadgum, another coyote." Well, it wasn't a coyote. It was a group of 15 does, but there was a hill in between us, and all I could see was their back. These 15
Yeah.
does pile out of these woods that he's walking through, and they
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, man. That's how it's gonna be here this weekend. I love that. Mhm. Yeah. Mhm. Oh, jeez. Mhm. Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, they're huge. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, those northern deer, man, they're nothing to sneeze at. Mhm. Yeah, pure adrenaline. Yeah. Yeah, dude, when you sent me the pictures of that deer, like, because you sent me a few photos from it, and I mean, that's the funny thing, like, it I feel like I've changed my outlook on deer that I would shoot, you know? And I mean, Imma pull it up right now so I can sort of remind myself fully what it was, but I do remember it being like a solid buck. I mean, it is oh, look at you with them coyotes and the doe. Oh, there he is. Yeah, dude, I mean, that is like you shoot that in Georgia, that's a stud. But that's a stud anywhere. Plus, he's got like the fork G2. I mean, that's awesome. Yeah. God, hell yeah. See, that's the thing. That's the thing about Illinois, dude. That I mean, growing not I'm not gonna say I grew up there. I didn't grow up there, but I lived there till I was 6. Me and my dad, which I probably told you this story. Me and my dad used to go to this nature preserve that you couldn't hunt, but you could just go and sit in a field and you could watch the deer, and we would see just giants, you know? And then people I know, like you and a couple other buddies that have gone hunting up there, they always tell me stuff like, "Oh yeah, man, you see them, they're just hard to get on." And it's like, I guess, I mean, I guess it does hold true. The mature bucks are just tougher to get on. I feel like Georgia deer, and maybe you can, elaborate on this for me. I feel like Georgia deer are maybe a little bit tougher, but I also don't know because I've never hunted that state. Oh yeah. Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. Unless you're hunting in, seek one territory, then it's people's backyards. But even then, those deer, like my brother-in-law lives up there, and I've seen probably, a couple 140s in his backyard, but it's just there's so many woods that connect in the general metro Atlanta area that good luck. I mean, how Lee and them do it, I respect the hell out of it, but I don't know, because I mean, I hunt small spots too. And what I've learned over the past 6 years of doing that is, it's if you can keep them there, then they're there. But if they're not there, they're just going to cruise through. I mean, I can't tell you how many times, like this season, I literally tried my hardest. I did everything that I have ever been taught. I've tried new things that I was taught, and I still was not able to get on any of these bucks. Mind you, I had 8 deer in one spot throughout the whole summertime that would daylight, they'd be hanging out. I got to watch them grow. And then as soon as those acorns dropped, it was over. I mean, I saw one buck for over a month. So it yeah, dude. And like, so when you were talking about that earlier, I'm like, yeah, that was my season. I mean, let me just put it in perspective. This spike back here, I killed November 1st. That was the last deer that I saw all season, sitting in a tree, or even I think I might have spooked one going to put food out, but that's the last deer that I got to see when I was hunting. So something was going on this year that acorns or heat, I don't know what it was, but dude, it was wild. I'm just happy you got to go out there. Yeah. Yeah. Mm. Yeah. Well, I can tell you that as far as I can tell right now, you have a spot for Wisconsin if you can make it. And I do plan on crossing the state line maybe this year. If not, I mean, I'd say next year, but Colorado is probably going to be my main focus then. So I don't know. But in the next couple of years, I do plan on going over to Alabama. I'll probably go to public land. So I know that's not going to jive with your turkey, but it's something. So effort into it. Yeah, it is. It is. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. Deer is a different thing. I mean, I hunted public land twice this year. Mind you, it was also the peak of acorn crop. It was, 80 degrees. Like it was hot. I mean, I should have known better. But even then, I will say this, that the public land out here that I've hunted for the past 6 years, I think there's only been, if you include this past season, there's only been 4 sits where I haven't actually seen a deer. I still haven't killed one over there because, it is completely different than what I'm used to doing. But it was just a weird year, man. That's really the best. Like I've talked to a couple guys. There was a guy up in Augusta that I was talking to yesterday who hunts, and we were sort of talking about this, like with the acorn crop and what he saw. And he said the same thing. He was like, dude, most of my spots are usually full of deer. I didn't see hardly anything this year. So I just call it a bad year, you know. That's all it was. But dude, that's so sad. Yeah. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. I mean, I said it in the intro, you kill them now. So once we start warming up and we start getting more springtime stuff, I'll probably be putting a food plot in, and my main goal is to get a food plot put in and then door knock so I can get a couple new spots. Because having 2 spots, that this year it was kind of, I really needed some variety and I just didn't have it. I mean, there was weekends that like I could have gone. We weren't, we weren't doing nothing. I just didn't go because it's like the wind's bad or nothing's showing up. And I know what people are going to say to that. Don't trust the cameras. But when you've got a situation like us where we don't really have a lot of time to go hunt, I'm not going to go out there and go out there on a hope and a whim. Like I kind of want to know what I'm doing. So I don't know, man. But look, dude, congratulations on a great season. Um, Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Yeah. See, I don't even want to do that anymore. Mhm. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. Jeez. Yeah. That's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah, that's odds stacked against you, man, for sure. Yeah. But hey, you're gonna try. I mean, you have to try. You have to try. Um, but yeah, dude, look, I appreciate you coming on, Paul. I hate that we had the technical difficulties. I mean, technology sucks. But I want to get you back on a little later this year. It's all good. Well, maybe I don't know how we can swing it, but I'm working on getting the studio. It's really the basement, but I'm working on getting this set up to where I can actually have people here. So maybe we can try to schedule something for you to actually be here. Um, that way, we don't have to worry about any of this. Cause yeah, I mean, I run into these issues at least a couple times a year and it really gets on my nerves. But, yeah, dude, I mean, I guess like I was saying, Wisconsin's open. Um, I don't know all the full details yet. It's 100 acres. No one's hunted it in 100 years. No, I wish. No one's hunted it in 15 years. Um, so once I get more details and stuff, I'll send it to you. But yeah, dude, I mean, I would love to bring you up there. Maybe we could both get a booner. I mean, God knows what's out there. So cool, man. Well, I appreciate it, buddy. You're not going to TAC this year, are you? No. Dang. All right. Well, are you doing anything on social media or are you kind of staying dark on that one? Yeah, I got you. There you go. I still haven't eaten yet. I'll probably eat after we get done with this. That's funny, man. Well, look, congratulations on a great season. I'm glad the out of state stuff worked. And I guess we'll set up a time to try and get you in here and really do a high quality in person, cameras, lights, whatever you want to do. Hollywood. We'll make it Hollywood. All right, brother. Well, I appreciate it, man.